Welcome to Uptycs. My name is Marley Geiger, and today I will be giving you a short overview of the Uptycs attack path feature. In the complex world of cloud security, identifying and navigating attack paths is crucial for mitigating or preventing breaches. Using attack path, they can trace potential routes of attack based on indicators of compromise or observed behaviors, helping them uncover hidden threats before they escalate. Let's see with a quick demo of the feature and visualization that it provides. First, you can see the centralized resource is marked with a star, showing that it is a critical resource. And to the left here, we see an internet exposure. This is how an attacker could compromise an EC2 instance through misconfigurations in these security resources and VPC resources. Here, we have dynamic exposure scanners that are actually trying to scan in through these network resources and find a path that is actually legitimate. Then, over on the right side of the attack path graph are potential lateral movement. These are resources the attacker could move to via network reachability and identity management to cause an actual data breach. Then, from this EC2 instance, there is access to these other resources through a means such as an IAM role. We're listing out these EC2 instances, and you can see the little blue globe icon. This means that it is publicly exposed to the internet through this specific IAM role. If we come down here to these instances, we can see by clicking on it that through this role, we can actually access other EC2 instances through this role and through this role down here. Actually, 6 EC2 instances are listed here. And then, through these methods, not only can they access the indicated EC2 instances, but through these roles, other crown jewels can be accessed as well, such as S3 bucket. And when we click on an S3 bucket, a lot of information is shown about the S3 bucket and what can be accessed through it via its permissions. So you can see through here that the role, the EKS-node-role, which is shown here, has all this access to this S3 bucket. Moving down here, we see an overview of the graph above. The EC2 instance details are seen on the first tab. We also give a summary of the internet exposure shown in the attack path graph. Here, the summary says that this EC2 instance is connected to a public subnet and it's reachable via non-web ports because the security groups and network access control lists allow traffic from public addresses. Another cool part is we go into an attack path summary where we use plain wording to state that this EC2 instance is open on these ports through misconfigured SGs and NACLs, and the attacker could then potentially move to 9 other EC2 instances. Then we go through things like security groups. Their overview, we can come down here and see all of the inbound rules to and from ports, the protocol that they're on, and here's the outbound. Again, we go through the roles. What about this given role, this EKS-node-role? Who can assume this role? What are the services that it can access? And the list of identities this role is allowed to assume. What can this role access? Another visualization comes up here where we can then look at another service, for example, such as KMS. So quite a bit of access here. Again, looking visually on this graph, you can see that this role has a lot of access and could definitely be taken advantage of. Another important capability is being able to right-click on assets themselves. We can then do a couple things showing inventory relationships, asset details, and asking questions about the resource. So first, we'll show the inventory of the resource and gather data on the resource. We can select the subnet that is attached to it and see how it's configured. And we can also dive deeper and view all of the relationships that this subnet has. Moving back, we can view the relationships of this EC2 instance, just like we did with this security group by clicking on View Relationships and viewing the attack path graph. Alternatively, we can see the asset details by clicking Show Asset Details. Plenty of information here, showing relationships based on huge amounts of correlated security data that includes permissions and access information. But the most important thing about attack path graphs is being able to examine the potential paths from the internet to internal resources and how an attacker might take advantage of misconfigured resources in this path, like an IAM role, and then gain access to a crown jewel such as an S3 bucket or a database. Thanks for watching! We hope you enjoyed this short video on attack paths and how you can use them to help you mitigate and prevent breaches.